Hey, what's up, everybody? This is another late night video, but this is something I wanted to talk about, and that's the absolute fucking shit show that is now Brexit. See, even though I am an American, in case you can't tell from, and a damn proud one, in case you can't tell from the flag hanging on my wall, but I do support Brexit, mostly because I support national sovereignty and the ability of and the right, not just the ability, the right of independent and sovereign nations, and for the people to be free of these massive elitist global organizations such as the EU, which, by the way, for any European individuals who may or may not be watching this, assuming that my channel hasn't been blocked in most of Europe, um, there are five heads of the European Union, and you did not and never will elect any of them. But the way that Brexit has dissolved into an absolute fucking circus, it boils my piss, because this was the opportunity for the individualists, the free thinkers in Europe, to send a message to the globalization elitist establishment that it was the chance for you guys to say, "Fuck no, motherfucker. We're not gonna fucking accept this bullshit. We're our own goddamn nation. We have our own culture. We have our own ideals, and we are going to run our own country our own way." And something that pisses me off is the absolute pussification of the way Brexit is going. I have a very simple suggestion for Theresa the Appease May, and that's do what the goddamn people and the goddamn voters have asked for. Leave the EU. Go back to being your own individual nation. And enough of this trying to jump through all the fucking flaming hoops that the EU is trying to put in your way. And the reason why they're doing that is because they are trying to stop Brexit, because they do not want this to go through. They don't want Brexit to go through, and more importantly to them, they don't want any of the other member nations, including nations like Italy and I believe France, have been talking about wanting to also leave the EU, because this is a massive global organization, and they want to keep the member nations in line, because as we all know, with these types of psychotic authoritarian organizations, is those with wrong think will be marked for re-education, and as a freedom-loving individual, well, I am 100% against the EU. I'm against everything they stand for. And the way it was all laid out. You have the vote. The vote passes. The people have spoken. and the people want out of the EU. They don't want to be a part. Don't want to be bogged down by bureaucracy. They don't want. They don't want the elitist globalization to continue happening in their country. They don't want their country to be destroyed by these organizations. But the fact of the matter is that England no longer has a prime minister who has the guts to be able to do it. You have Theresa May, who is trying to make these compromises with the EU. Fuck that shit. Fuck it. You go with the EU's trying to destroy the British economy with this fucking divorce bill, and it's fucking horseshit. You do the hard fucking exit. You say, fuck you, well, I'm not paying a goddamn penny, or whatever the fucking British equivalent of penny is, but I'm not up to date with my European currency. All I know is euros and crowns, but and also francs. But I don't know how exactly the conversion rate is. But it's and also not to mention how many times they've had a referendum vote on Brexit. Just, oh, are you guys sure you want to do this? Okay, yeah, we know you said that you wanted this, but are you really sure you wanted it? Okay, you said you're really sure, but how about we just keep asking until we eventually have enough people say that no, oh, we don't want to. It's all a bunch of bullshit. And this may not be my area of the world, but it pisses me off when the liberty and the will of the people and the individual are stepped on and fucked over by these motherfuckers who think and act like, and in all likelihood, frankly, do control the world. So basically my message in all this is fight for Brexit. Fight for it to be done the right way. Fight to make those EU cocksuckers take their fucking elitist authoritarian heads and shove it up their own asses. Just like the way they have been for all this time. People have spoken, and the people want liberty. They want Brexit. They want all that shit. And they want it to be done the right way. None of this fucking pussyfooting and let's dance around the red tape, jump through all the hoops, and to where we barely even get what was voted for in the first place. Because it's like I said earlier, what's happening with the clusterfuck of Brexit is the EU trying to make an example out of England, trying to make Theresa May shoot her own country in the foot to try to keep the rest of the member nations in line. And it's bullshit. The EU. It's not a legitimate organization. It's not something that was built by and voted for by the people. it's the same group of globalized elitist assholes that are trying to get their hands in the U.S., that are trying to get their hands all over the world so they can control what happens, so they can control these governments. It may sound like I've got my tinfoil hat on, but you know what? I'm willing to accept that. But that's my thoughts on Brexit. I fully support the idea of it. I fully support a free and independent Britain. I support every state. I support every state, every nation being free and independent, be able to make their own decisions, run shit their own way, and and it and it does piss me off to see how much it's all been fucked up by people who don't give a shit about what the people want. But that's all I got for you. Take it easy, keep it sleazy.